Hello, students. Today we're going to just have a short set of notes on solving multi-step equations. I've got a couple of examples to show to you, and I'll do the first one, then we'll talk about the second one. On the first one, a review on removing parentheses, and just don't let all the parentheses be intimidating. So you're going to do the distributive property, and we'll take -5 times 1, and then we'll take -5 times -5x. So a negative times a negative is positive 25x. We'll continue on and remove the second parentheses. So we have 5 times -8x, and that's -40x. We'll have 5 times -2, that's -10. And then we have our equal sign. And on the right-hand side of the equal sign, we actually have like terms that we can combine. You have a -4x and a -8x. So they're both negative. We want to add and keep the sign, -12x. On the left side of the equal sign, we see that we have some like terms that can combine. I'm also going to draw in the separator so that I'm sure you are focusing on the left and right side of the equal sign. On the left, I'm going to work with the x's first. I have a positive 25x and a negative 40x. With those being on the same side of the equal sign, I will combine them. 25 and -40 combine to -15x. Also on the left side of the equal sign, I have two constants that can be combined. I have -5 and -10. So we'll add and keep the sign, -15. And then I have my equal sign right where the separator is, and then on the other side, the -12x. So as I'm looking at what to do next, I have two terms on the left-hand side of the equal sign. They're written in red and green. I have one term written here in blue on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So I need to get each side to just have one term. So I need to work on the left side. And since my -12 has an x with it, I need to add or zero out, as I've been saying, the x term on both sides of the equal sign. So I want to add 15x and then get over to the other side of the equal sign, add 15x. So -15x and +15x will cancel, and I'll still have then -15. Notice I had to bring down the sign, my equal sign, and -12 plus 15x will add to make 3x. So this was a case where I had to get the x on the left-hand side. Now I'm ready to divide. I can divide both sides by 3, and -5 will equal x. So x equals -5 is this solution. So just a little bit more complicated than we had done before, having multiple parentheses and many terms that needed to be combined before working on each side. All right, now your second problem is described in the written portion of your notes as a proportion. You have a fraction, you have an equal sign, and you have a fraction. So fraction, equal sign, fraction. And when you have that, that is called a proportion. And there is a method for solving proportions known as cross multiplying. But I want to show you why cross multiplying works based on what we've been doing. So what we have been doing is looking at your two denominators and coming up with the common denominator. So your common denominator in this problem would be 15, 3 times 5, which gives us 15. So I can multiply both sides of my equation by 15. 15 over 1 times my original problem, which would be x minus 1 over 3. Then the equal sign. And then I'm going to go ahead and write my other part, 2x plus 2 over 5. And I multiplied by my common denominator of 15. This is what we've been doing on your other problems. So I can cancel. 3 divides into itself once. 3 divides into 15 5 times. And when I do this, I have to put a parentheses around my numerator x minus 1 because I'm going to be taking 5 times that numerator x minus 1. On the other side of my equal sign, I can cancel. So 5 goes into itself once, and 5 divides into 15 3 times. I again need to put a parentheses so that I'll remember to distribute, and so I'll be taking 2x plus 2 and multiplying that by the 3. All right, now, this method of cross multiply that's described in your notes happens because look what's left after doing your canceling. The cross multiply method in your steps up above tell you to put parentheses around your numerators and then take your denominator. So for example, the 5 times the x minus 1, and that's exactly what I have right here. And then it says to take the 3 times the 2x plus 2, and that's exactly what I have right here. So you may hear it described as cross multiplying, but you can treat these problems just like we have previous problems with denominators in them. You can simply find that common denominator and multiply both sides by the common denominator. All right, so now that we've gotten that discussion over with, we'll continue on. So the 5 times the x would be 5x, and the 5 times the negative 1 would be negative 5. We'll set that equal. Now this time my 3 is in the back, but I'm still going to distribute. So 3 times 2x, that would be 6x, and 3 times 2, and that would give me a 6. And so I want to get my x's on one side. Here's my separator. So I will subtract 6x from both sides of the separator, moving my variable to the left. 5x plus negative 6x will combine to give me negative 1x minus 5. I have my equal sign, and these eliminate, and I have a 6. So I'm ready to add 5 to both sides of the separator. Here's the separator again. So I will add 5, both sides of the separator, and that will give me negative 1x. These eliminate. Here's my equal sign, and then 6 plus 5 gives me 11. I can divide both sides by negative 1. giving me x equals, and then 11 divided by -1 is -11. So your final answer for this one is x equals -11. As you go through your work today, you may have some problems that have some extra parentheses in them. You may have some problems that are proportions, and you've got a couple of examples that you can look at to help you out with that.